The White Mountain Donuts, right? Is that what you're talking about?
It's fantastic. It's a double cheeseburger on a glazed donut top and bottom bun.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
It's 0 calories.
Just over 3,000 calories.
Oh my
Yeah. Pass.
It's a good week's worth of
Pass.
food.
Pass. So I would not waste my calories on something like that.
Those donuts look good though.
They're so good.
They are. They're very good.
And they are very good when they are attached to a burger.
Are they really?
I thought so.
How are you doing today?
Tired.
Tired?
6 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
Did much. Supposed to stop at 2:30, but they carried on, so that's all right. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, we should have a fairly short meeting.
Oh, that's fine. No big deal. I don't go to sleep till 10, 11 anyway.
Oh.
Can't sleep those much, you know what?
And up early?
Yep. You got it.
5-ish?
Invariably. Yeah. Yeah. Just one of those things.
I put the kids to bed and I'm like, okay, I'm off to bed.
That's how I am too. It's horrible.
4 o'clock comes too early.
You get up at 4 o'clock too?
You do too, right?
No, I get up at 5. Because I don't do anything in the morning. Like at all. I take a shower and I go to work. I don't work out. I'm not for exercise apparently.
I'm not for Come join me.
I should, seriously, because I'm going to be in a wedding on New Year's Eve. And the bride just sent me a picture of my dress, and I showed it to my daughter, and my daughter looks at me and she goes, "Do you think you can pull that off?" And I'm all, excuse me? Yeah.
I got this.
I got this like nobody's business. I'm going to start working out right after.
You think
Right after my birthday.
And that was like
When
a
your
month
birthday
ago.
comes, it'll be like, oh. That's the habit I'm in right now. Oh, I think I'll get through this holiday.
Yes, it's so bad. Maybe after Valentine's Day. Oh, maybe after St.
Now I'm
Patrick's
like,
Day.
after Easter. Let me eat all the peeps I can between now and Easter, and then we'll think about it.
That was horrible.
That's funny.
Jennifer and her peeps and her sweethearts.
And
What are they, sweethearts?
conversation hearts.
Conversation hearts.
That's interesting. Candy likes.
I got excited. I went in my office this morning and someone had a package of peeps put right on my desk.
Aw.
That's
I'm starting to get
awesome.
nervous that maybe.
I get set
Oh
5.
wait, Nancy just emailed me. Let me see.
Yeah, it's unlike everyone.
Alan. Isn't he the yeah, the Dodge.
Looks like he's on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, is somebody here?
Yeah,
Cool.
up there.
Perfect. Nancy just
I
emailed.
love
So we'll
that
see.
rustic color. He's doing
Oh, isn't that kind
Maybe so. Did you need her?
No, I just got the
I was
email.
wondering how it's sitting in his truck.
Is he really? It's like, I don't want to walk in there.
I just waved him in, so. I saw him this morning, I was like, no, he's gonna be there.
And Nancy just emailed me, so, and she said, meeting today at 5 o'clock? Question mark? Yes. Are you gonna make it? So we'll see.
When is yours? Sorry. When was your spring break?
March.
Alan's just walking in.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, I just had it up. It's March.
March 19th through the 22nd.
Yeah.
I was looking.
Kids are all 18.
You just listen to music in the truck, I mean.
No, I was doing emails.
Retiree.
I know. Taking care of fishy plans and.
Oh yeah, the important stuff.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so I think we're gonna go ahead and get started because we have a forum, so. Let's see. a meeting to order at 5:12. If you would mind standing and salute to the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Alan?
Here, sorry.
That's okay. Herman?
Here.
Just kidding.
Laura? Present.
There's Nancy.
Perfect. Hello, Miss Nancy. We're just doing roll call right now.
Perfect.
So Nancy. Here. All right, thank you. And Mr. Norris is absent today.
5:10, I know you. Don't judge me, you don't know my life. I drive all the way from Westward Look.
Oh, you're kidding.
Always.
I know.
That's where I just came from. Did you come down first?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
it's a little slow.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
like.
Miss Campbell.
I know.
Campbell's worst.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
Campbell,
jump.
well, I
Campbell
think
is
you guys
worse.
making a good choice, but.
Well, thank you for joining us, Nancy. Okay, so the approval of the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and let's see, are there any trust board comments today? No comments? Okay, wonderful. And there's no call to the audience. All right, so general functions, we're gonna go ahead and move forward with the approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the January 29th board meeting?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving right along, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the renewal options and the pharmacy with CBIS.
Okay. When we were here last time, we reviewed the plan changes with the deductibles and or the max out of pocket and the deductibles, and then came away with providing options in addition to those with the copay changes to the pharmacy. So behind your tab, the funding projection, we have the updated, which includes again those same plan changes that we had talked about, along with the copays to the pharmacy. So you'll see on page.
I want to mention that
yeah.
this was presented to the council
Oh.
in a study session.
Yes, these were presented to the, just like Eric said.
Presented to the governing board along with some just self-funded education so that they could ask their questions with regard to the trust, the status, the board, and all the things that govern the monies that have been deposited basically on behalf of the benefit plan participants. So they have heard the changes that you all recommended be calculated, and that's what we're going to go over now.
So that is on page 4. So ultimately, the renewal without the pharmacy, as a reminder, was with a 10-month renewal was 13.99%. With the additional pharmacy changes at the 10-month renewal is a 13.51%. So about a 0.5% in decrease, about $30,000. So that's ultimately the change on that funding projection. And then we base the contributions from there, similar to what you saw before, with no increases on the high deductible health plan for those that did not participate, and a reduction on the members that did participate in the wellness program. And we have that updated contribution strategy that was proposed also to the governing board, which is behind the next tab.
Next tab,
Yes.
or next page?
Next tab.
And it's option 7. And this was again, that was a 13.5% increase. So the directive from the district was to evenly distribute that 13.5% to the employees and to the district. So it's about, so you'll see those increases there. The PPO 500 again went to the PPO 750, and that's going to be the proposed increases at that 32.8% for those on that PPO 750 plan. The 1500 is that 15% increase, and then currently the 0% on the 1500 plan. Questions so far on that?
Tell me again what 7A is.
7A was if we passed on the entire cost to the employees.
If the district board, no additional increase.
Right.
Right.
And 7 was a recommendation of the board approving about $500,000 contribution.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That's correct, an
Oh, that's
increased
right.
district contribution, but that does not equate to the 500,000 in reserves that we had talked
Right.
about in the last couple of meetings, right?
So one of the considerations from the district, from finance staff, was that they would wait and see how the reserves accumulate and determine when the necessary funding time is, so that they don't put it into trust, therefore lose the flexibility if those dollars need to be used elsewhere. So they understand the liabilities and the commitment of the reserves and the commitment financially that they've made to the plan. However, it's just a timing issue from the district to recognize if the reserves accumulate as is projected, they might not need to put it in immediately. Therefore, there are some in their reserves already, but there's obviously a timing on their part. The other piece that I would make mention of is that the administrative change going from a September 1st to a July 1st policy date, which is the 10-month reduction, which if you calculate that out, there's also going to be basically a payroll holiday for employees' contributions to the plan that they would have otherwise had no revenue coming into. We still will have no revenue coming in during the months of July and August, but those new deductions in 2020-21 plan year will start coming in, and the employees will have a couple of payrolls where they do not have deductions coming out of their paychecks this year. And that's more on the administrative HR side than anything. So.
Yeah, we're hoping to shoot for those around our breaks, because our classifying employees don't get paid during breaks anyway, and
Yeah.
so that way they won't have a huge chunk coming out the next payroll, so, yeah.
So at this point, that's what has been shown, illustrated to the governing board. The one piece I'll bring up that we just received additional information on participation of the wellness program. So I just wanted to kind of bring it up. There is more participation, which is good, obviously. We had originally projected, at the time we did all of the funding projections, about 200 enrolling or meeting the 50 points. As of the reporting through February, we have 129 have earned the full 50 points, with another 23 earning between 40 and 50. And then, about 80 between 20 and 35. So I ran it by our analytics just to kind of say, hey, what if we hit 300? So basically for every additional 100 is roughly $45,000 of additional cost to the district. So I wanted to bring that up now.
Every 100.
Every
Yeah.
100. So we may not still hit the 100 or the 2 to the 300, but I wanted to have that discussion.
Does it cost or
earlier.
does it reduce revenue? Because
Reduces revenue.
Reduce their premium.
Yes.
Reduces revenue. It doesn't change the premiums, nor does it change the cost of the plan, projected cost.
revenue.
It's the revenue coming into the plan to offset claims.
And
Because
what did we anticipate it being? 100?
200.
200. About the
okay.
hires.
And you're still on track
So
for
yeah,
that.
we could just set it 200, or we've got 150 that are on there. Well, 129 that are done. 23, the 40 to 50.
And they have about a little over a month left.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
It just amazes me that
Or not.
It's surprising that you have individuals that don't recognize that this is basically free money. This is similar to a 401k, 403b contribution, right?
it's not like you have to do anything really hard to get it.
Or anything that you shouldn't
But
otherwise be
I'm
doing.
continually surprised that with with our
Right, or
population too.
or anything that you shouldn't otherwise be doing anyways.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's,
everybody should
Super
go to the doctor
easy.
once a year and everybody should do the online assessment.
you would think that you have 50, 60, 70%
The
participation,
online
but you don't.
assessment take 10 minutes.
We'll be at 20%.
Oh, with that, you're right. Super quick.
So,
Well, and you also wonder how valuable are the activities perceived by the population too. You know, I think the online assessment's high level silliness, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. But if you told me you were gonna do something I perceived as being more valuable, I'd probably, well, I should do that. I
sure.
don't know. So
That's a
I
good
don't
point.
know what the work.
But if I was getting a
Yeah.
discount on what I'm paying, I would do it in a minute.
Yeah, you would. You wouldn't care.
So we think 200, everyone's comfortable with that. I just wanted to put it out there, because one thing I had our,
Alan and I are gonna take a bet and see if it's gonna go up after that.
I would get the people that are on it to go out and do some advertising for years.
It's usually the way it starts. Word of
I
mouth.
mean, word of mouth.
Did you know? Yeah.
Or
did you
next
know?
year, when
Next
next
year.
year
Right.
friends, you know,
Yeah.
they're
Let us
less.
just see what.
They're paying less, yeah.
That's when it's really gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
One important thing is to know that those employees that do complete the wellness program and criteria will actually see a decrease in their cost for the participation on the health plan year over year.
Mhm.
So you don't see the 32.8% increase that the 750 participants are going to receive. If they choose the 1,500 or the high deductible health plan and they choose to participate in the wellness program, they're actually going to see a decrease.
Yeah.
not
of
on
their-
the 750, they still have a little.
And
That's
when
a
those
small
people
increase.
are
But yeah,
on
it's,
it,
but it's
Right.
almost.
It's all
balanced
relative,
around
right.
there.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and they probably don't have a clue about that either, so
Right.
that'll be educational moving
Right.
forward.
Yeah. Do you need a motion to approve?
Let's see, are you ready for a motion?
Are you finished?
I was wondering if we were ready to move on.
Are you, are we?
I think we're ready to move on,
Okay.
yeah.
I make the motion that you recommend option 7, or to approve option 7 and present that to your governing board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, so next item on the agenda. It looks like we already went through all of those items, so we can go down to dental vision.
Yeah. You said you wanted this to be
It
a
was
quick
great.
meeting.
I know. Look at that.
This was the meeting that was the long one.
Right, I think it was last time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That was the
yeah.
last one, yeah.
Yes, so, yeah, I think after our board presentation, by the way, the board presentation went really well. Yeah, I think it did. I think it was well received. The board had a lot of great questions. And so I think it really set the stage for what, our expectations are from the district at least, of what funding projections look like and how they want to move forward. So just a little side note on that
That's
too.
good to hear.
So,
I was
yeah,
wondering how that
definitely.
session went.
Yeah, it was
Sorry
really
to
good.
have to miss that.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I know, but that was.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll have future ones, so.
Alan represented.
Yes, Alan did.
Oh, good.
Yes.
We were in good hands.
Yeah, and he did make a comment also about the wellness, about how he doesn't understand why people aren't participating. So it was very nice to have that kind of little in there. so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think there's a direct relationship between your emergency room costs and people
Yeah.
not going to the doctor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so moving on to our dental and vision renewal options with CBIS.
So historically, we haven't really gotten into the dental and vision with this board, but this year we did have to go to market. It is their voluntary options with the dental and vision. But we did go to market. It was 5 years, was up for those plans. And we also knew that MetLife was going to issue a pretty large increase. So we went ahead and went to market. So we reviewed this with a committee within the district. We just wanted to run it by this board, and then they would take it to the governing board. So we have the scoring sheets behind the RFP scoring tab. And the first is the voluntary PPO dental options. MetLife actually decided not to even quote.
Did not respond to bid.
Did not respond.
Rude.
We agree. But fortunately, we did have a great respondent with Delta Dental. And so you have the first sheet is the scoring sheet. It's all weighted by the district as far as qualifications, the assessment, cost, of course, past performance references. you can take a look at the rates, but ultimately, Delta scored the highest points. They also offered a high and a low, a base and a buy-up PPO plan option. So if you take a look behind that scoring sheet, this would allow, the district has a fairly rich buy-up, our current PPO option. They have, no deductibles on any of the services, a $1,500 annual maximum. So what Delta proposed was a base plan of $1,000 maximum, adding those deductibles in for your basic and major services. So it gives them more flexibility and no orthodontia. So it gives some more flexibility for the employees to purchase the plan that works best for them.
Yeah.
So the committee that we met with really liked that as an option to provide two of those. And they offered a great rate guarantee of basically a 2-year rate guarantee with a 6.5% rate cap that
On the
third year.
On the third year?
On the third year. So everyone else was higher than that with only 1 year. So there was an
Have you
overall.
ever used Delta before?
They have,
Oh, yeah.
it was 3 years ago before they
I
went
had
with
20
Midland.
years experience with them. I thought they were wonderful.
I agree.
They're really good.
Delta's
We're really
my
happy with
plan
them.
of choice.
Yeah.
And they've got some really interesting new programs that are coming down the pipe that'll be announced probably in the next 6 months. So they've made some nice changes, made some very nice changes.
So,
Just as a quick aside about the committee that we pulled together, we did pull together a committee of all of our, from our employee representatives. We had an administrator, a teacher, and a classified employee represented on the committee. They reviewed the information with CBIZ that they presented for the dental and the vision. One thing that the district has done in the past is they've offered dual dental. So that means that they've allowed employees to be covered under the PPO dental as well as the HMO dental. With the recommendations that we're bringing forward, that will no longer be an option for our employees. So I wanted to mention that in this group also, so that everybody's aware that that option for our employees will be going away. They will only be allowed to enroll in the PPO buy-up plan, the regular PPO plan, or the HMO plan for the PPO plan. So,
What about your married employees? Can one be in one and one be in the other, or they both have to be in the same one? Or can one have it? Can they each take their own dental plan? And then they
Oh,
get,
boy.
that's the braces.
No,
No,
no.
you can only enroll as a dependent unit.
Yeah.
You can't employ, 2 employees can't.
Oh,
Employees,
2 employees.
two
Yeah,
employees.
right.
2 employees can
Married
choose, 2 employees can choose. I'm talking about not employee plus spouse plus
No,
dependents.
employees.
2 employees
So two
can.
employees can each have their own.
They can each
benefit.
make their own decision.
You
And
know.
then on your
Yes.
orthodontics, they get
You can't
2,000.
spread your
Yes.
family across
Right,
the place.
exactly.
Yes.
We
So
just
we
say
used to call
employee
that,
word,
we
Eric.
used to call that the braces provision.
So you're saying that they would enroll, like the employee would enroll for employee plus family, and then the other employee would enroll,
They
or the
both
spouse
enroll
would
single,
enroll?
those who both do single. Or one would be
orthodontia
one
though,
plus family, and the other would be single, and then you cross cover the deductible so that you get more money for your braces.
what they've told us on orthodontia is that $1,000 lifetime maximum stays with you even if you move carriers. You don't get a new one, so it
Wow.
doesn't, it
Yeah,
doesn't
but you're
seem
talking
that.
about 2 employees
Like
and
2
2 plans,
employees.
so each of them
I
get
haven't-
$1,000.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not
And
experienced
when it
that.
comes to their kids, it's cross covered.
yeah. Can be.
Interesting.
Can be.
When they coordinate the benefits.
Delta was real good at doing that, and then we used to call it the braces.
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 Yeah, when we tried to get employees not to do that, to,
Mhm.
one employee take the insurance, and the other one not do that, it was like, yeah, right.
They knew what they were.
My kid's getting ready for braces, I want that.
Okay.
Two
Double.
grand.
Interesting. But that, I guess, would be in place right now, too. So we did also look at the DHMO. They had, they had TDA Dental, who also elected not to submit a proposal. So on the DHMO.
Which is even stranger than that life, 'cause
It-
it's just a fee,
It's very strange.
it's a fee schedule plan.
Yes.
And we were with TDA for a couple of years too,
Been with them
before.
for the
yeah.
5 years, and
Yeah.
then prior
It's
to
very
that, I
strange.
think we were with Assurant. So EDS did submit a quote, and then also Delta Dental has a DHMO offer now. So in looking at the offerings with Delta, their DHMO ultimately costs a little bit more in premium, but when they go half services, they're going to pay less out of pocket. it also covers the specialist versus on EDS, it's only the general dentist. So you go in, and if you need something major, maybe you want your general dentist to do it, or they're going to refer you out to a specialist, and it's going to cost you more. Whereas with Delta, they're going to keep it under the specialist copay, whatever was assigned. So
I think Delta does the best job of all these dental plans we've had over years.
yeah,
Yep.
and it was brought up by the by the HR representative that was in there, that often the employees will come in with their TDA or EBS and say, well, I had all these other bills that happened after this, and so this might be a nice way for them to, yes, again, you're paying a little bit more in that premium, but you're paying less out of pocket when you have the services. And we just got a best and final, so the rates are actually slightly lower than what's illustrated here as well. And then the last is the voluntary vision. Currently with IMED, they did provide a quote, which is great. However, in looking at all the options, Superior Vision actually came in the strongest, and we also received a best and final from them. They lowered the rate slightly as well. So currently an employee only is $620. The Superior Vision is $563. They have enhanced progressive lens benefit. They also have a 1 per calendar year benefit, so you don't have to have it, sorry, 1 per year benefit. So instead of having to get your glasses in March of every year, you can get, it's that calendar year anytime in that calendar year.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, so they offered that in the best, and
So
they offered that in the
nice.
best and final that literally came in as we were walking out the door.
good.
So
Okay, great.
it was decided to make a recommendation to move to Superior as well. So any questions on those?
Just a curious question. Delta Dental Vision?
Yeah.
Right there.
about that.
Yep. They have a new vision service that they provide.
It's basically through IMED is the,
Yep.
the network that they run. So we did discuss that for ease of administration. It's all under
Yeah.
one bill, all of that kind of thing.
The eye chart's on the ceiling.
What did the one member
One-stop
say?
shopping. You clean your teeth and have you read the ceiling.
Well, because Avisa's also quoted vision, and so I think one of
Yeah.
your members said, I don't think I want my eye doctor cleaning my teeth, so.
And a lot of these days, it's the other eye carriers are doing private label product for some of these ancillary vendors. So Delta Dental, it used to be Spectra Vision. Now it's Delta Vision, which is kind of through IMED, their network, back office support. So they're doing a lot of private label product,
Yeah.
specifically for the bundling type services.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to take a motion on this, but just to recommend, on the motion sheet I have on there to recommend the dental and vision vendors as presented. Would anybody like to make a motion on this, please?
I'll make that motion.
I'm sorry, to approve which one?
To recommend the dental and vision vendors as presented.
Oh.
Yeah.
So moved.
Can you get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. So our next item on the agenda is our claims update with CBIS.
And we actually don't have,
What?
well, because we came out last time, we did have your claims through December. So those will actually, your claims through January will drop tomorrow.
Oh,
Oh, I know, we
I
did
like to
bring
look at
it.
the claims.
Yeah.
I know, we have an updated IBNR if you're really excited about that.
Those are fun.
Those are good too.
So I did include the IBNR in here.
Okay.
If you have any questions on that, but Anthony also doesn't have, so, we're just doing really well tonight. But we'll have those updated claims when we come next time.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda is the trust financial reporting. Anthony?
Yeah, we likewise do not have updated financials since we met on the 29th, and it's been, 2.5 weeks. We're waiting on a couple invoices for vision and dental to be paid before those can be finalized. The only thing I would add is that we are probably only 2 or 3 days away from finalizing the audit. I say we, but there's a third-party company doing it. So we're anxious to have the audits back, and what you'll notice is on the financials then, for prior years, where we have unaudited on there, they will say audited.
Audited.
Okay. so requests for future agenda items. Are there any requests for future agenda items before I go into my list? I have short list.
Before I go into
Future
the list.
agenda items should include the claims.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so funny that you said that, Nancy, because I was thinking that same thing.
Well, we've been watching some of those, right? What's gonna happen?
Okay, so we have claims, we have the trust
No,
financials.
teasing.
that we're gonna say right now. But then also, we want to meet soon to discuss wellness. So we're looking at March, sometime in March. Does everybody want to look at your calendars really quickly and see what works for
So,
for
you know,
everybody?
on my way here, I'm driving, you
Yeah.
know, and I suddenly get an invite for
We
this
haven't set
meeting
it,
for
so
tomorrow
we're
night.
for-
It just popped up on my phone.
So
And I was like,
you're like, it's
hopefully I'm driving the right day.
You
How
were
did that
in-
happen today?
Well, it's strange because I had the same thing happen to me, but it's not on my calendar. So we originally were scheduled to meet tomorrow, but
Right.
it was supposed to have been canceled from
Well,
everybody's
it
calendar.
was canceled, so when I
Yeah.
got this Google on my drive here, I'm like,
Isn't that
what the
strange?
heck?
Yeah, the same thing happened to
Okay,
me,
thanks,
but.
I wondered if it was me.
So I'm looking at the week of the 11th. We're gonna be on spring break the week of the 18th. So I'm thinking the week of the 11th. How does everybody feel about Wednesday, the 13th?
You'll have one more month of claims at that point. You'll have through January.
Okay.
So the 13th, we also have your enhanced analytics report that will be coming from Verisk or Versend, our analytical tool, that takes about 45 days to run. So let me find out where that is, and if it's not on the next agenda, the March 13th
Mhm.
agenda, it should be on the following one.
Okay. Would meeting later in March be better? March 27th, perhaps?
I'm out of town that week.
Okay, then let's
That's-
look at the 13th.
Easter week, isn't it?
He's
No,
just the
not until
21st.
April.
21st, that's
April
right.
21st.
It's late this year.
Yeah, how's the 13th work for
Very
you?
late.
Yeah, okay,
13th.
Mr. Verdugo, is the 13th,
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay, perfect, so we'll do the March 13th at 5 o'clock.
I know. I don't pay attention to those invites. I listen to Laura. That's what I was telling myself. I remember Laura saying this.
I remember hearing this, I have a good memory. Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Well, those are the only requests that I have for the future agenda items.
Sorry.
Anything else? Yes?
Maybe we got sidetracked. Did
No.
you mention payer matrix?
No, I have not. Do you want to add that for the next agenda? Okay, good, perfect.
Payer matrix.
Okay.
Payer matrix.
Have you heard of them?
It's a pharmacy program
Oh.
that basically assists the individuals to get on manufacturer's assistance when you have the high dollar medications.
Yeah.
And that can take the cost off the plan or the
Yeah.
burden off the plan at that point.
I've heard of that product,
Like
but
the
not
Good-
that
Good
name.
RX
Are
or
there-
something.
Good RX is a discount
There are a few
program.
of those
Yeah.
people in that
Good RX is a
market?
discount
Yeah.
program. But Payer Matrix is one of a couple of new innovations in the pharmacy space that have been recommended by our national pharmacy directors. So, and there will be some others. So we're actually having some presentations of 3. So we have created a new health innovations practice group within CBIZ. And we have 3 new vendors that are coming to present to one of our larger clients on Monday. And all of them look to potentially be able to save the plan between $500,000 and $1 million.
In the
So
pharmacy space.
one's pharmacy, another's predictive modeling and
Oh,
claims analytics.
Uh-huh.
Another is incentive-driven rewards for individuals to utilize the plan in a better way.
Mhm.
And then the 4th is actually, there's providers in Mexico that you can credential, and for individuals that want to go get their care in Mexico or are already getting their care in Mexico, they can go down there.
Really?
So, yeah,
Good enough.
yeah. So, it's pretty amazing.
I know, right?
How many horse cars?
Mhm.
There are some horror stories.
Yeah.
There are definitely some horror stories. Absolutely.
Interesting, though.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Definitely horror stories.
And the other thing I would mention is we have a tool with HSA Bank, who is their current vendor. They're offering this because of a partnership. It's called My Health Math, and it's one-on-one interviews with the employees. They have to sign up for it. So we have a little short video we can share at the next meeting, but ultimately it costs the district nothing. And we didn't get very much engagement with the comparison tool last year, which is kind of what we've experienced in the past as well. This is something that they could sign up for, again, free. So I think that we would offer it, but I'm gonna show all of you that as an option as well. And then do you want to have Magellan come out and do another presentation on the second quarter data, so we'd have 6 months?
I think it was helpful seeing it.
And actually plan to dive into it a little further at the next meeting.
I thought it was helpful seeing that data personally, so how do you all feel about it? You guys okay with bringing it back? Yeah, let's go ahead. I would like to see it again, just till I get a little bit more familiar with the process. Back to the My Health Math, is there a, do we pay another year for the UMR tool? Or was that a one-time fee that we voted on and paid for last year?
There is, at this point, a $6,500 fee if you want to continue that.
So then that's something that we need to have on our
Yeah.
next agenda so that we can make a vote on that.
Expensive.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
And My Health Math is free.
Yes.
For how long? Just
They chose
introductory care?
Sunnyside as a partner. They're partnering with this My Health Map as a, just I'm sure they want to increase contributions to the plan, so I'm sure there's a benefit there, but ultimately we talked to them, and again, they're just talking to the employee, what is your utilization? They will get the information as far as the cost of the plan and help walk through some of the math, but they'll get a full report, which I'll show you the example of that. This is the one we recommend, and they can provide reporting on it as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so any other unfinished business that we need to discuss? No? Okay, wonderful. Yes, please, thank you. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Second. Wonderful. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.
That was a lot better than the last one.
Meeting was a lot shorter.
Short for me.
It was a lot shorter, that's for sure.
Well, it's only too short if you're driving back to Westward Look now.
I am. No, I'm not. I'm not.
I have.
Are you?
SASC before this.
Thank you all for coming.
Oh, did you?
Appreciate it.
Yes, I was listening to the sheriff, gloom and doom, and
Wasn't as bad as last Tuesday, because Jim and Minnow show pretty much over.
Oh, yeah.
Last Tuesday was just a horror show.
That is
Yes.
just a mess.
yeah. That's the only sign sheet we have.
Yes, no, I have one more for you. Mr. Verdugo, I
How
have,
about to?
it's for you, thank you. And then for you, I have this, which I want to, this is the trust acceptance. And then I have for you to take home.
Yeah,
Mr.
a little bit of it, we've been piloting it.
Sir?
I don't really like the tool that we're using, so I think we're gonna build a new app. We were using a company called eVisits. Thanks, Alan. eVisits, yeah, and, we started it just with our employees internally, right? And for our behavioral health patients, because that works really well. I need you to talk to the psychiatrist there on the other side, or what have you. But I think we would just prefer something a little more user-friendly. So I think we're just gonna put our RFP out for apps and build them out. And, this one is in the Google and the Apple stores, but I don't think it's very user-friendly. But we stood up our pop health tool within NextGen, and so now we're set up to be able to direct claims feed from payers. So, workflow-wise, everybody's in the EHR, and I don't have people going, what's going on out there with all the claims on this patient, and messing around with all that, insurance company driven stuff, right? So now those feeds just come right into the EHR. Claims are late, right? But at least they're all in there, and you can see if that colonoscopy is actually done, did they get it somewhere else, we're not in there. So we can earn our value-based payments as a provider.
How's it going to work with Aetna and Banner and their new telehealth provider?
Everybody has a telehealth provider. TMC has one. Everybody has one. I continually preach about it's of no value if you don't have the patient's clinical data in front of you. You're just another algorithm. So, because we have clients now that we provide nurse triage for, but I've kept them to clients that are on the same EHR because we already know the workflow. So the line comes in, and I can see it's Mariposa Community Health Center. So we're, good evening, Mariposa Community Health Center, blah, blah. And then we just go into their EHR, same workflow, document, tag or text the provider,
close the loop. Yeah. So now we're starting to do it with some of the payers have been asking for that, but I said, we don't really add a lot of value. If I can't see the clinical data, I'm following national algorithms, but it's like a cold call, right? Versus when I can go, I can see your meds, I can see your last visit, I can see all that, then I'm really able to keep you away from the ER.
Yeah.
Because you're going to cover yourself, you're still going to get those ER visits. Teladoc doesn't decrease ER visits.
So that's for.
And we make the appointment too. We make the appointment too. So, Mariposa had their FTCA audit, and they picked a random record, and lo and behold, all the pieces were there. Triage call came in, went to the nurse triaged it, documented it, made an appointment. Patient actually came in for the appointment the next day, total close. I mean, it was like a big gold star. So they were super happy. I was just, full of prayer, but because you never know when they're randomly opening a chart, what is going to happen with so many patients.
Is it for current member or
patients? Our patients, yeah.
So I'm not currently at El Rio Patient.
No, so you can't call the nurse.
I'm just wondering how that.
But for our employees, we incent them to stay within our network, and they earn a lot of incentives through staying within the network. But, my husband, he's such a goofball. So we're always telling our patients, call the nurse first. Do not go to the ER, do not go to urgent care, not go to Banner, call the nurse, right? And so he wrote a song to the William Tell Overture. Call the nurse. When your child has a flu, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this whole big verse thing. It's awful. So funny. Yeah. But anyway, Cherryville opened yesterday.
I know, it's fantastic.
Did you go see it?
I've been down there.
It's very pretty. The building is beautiful. Yeah. But we're a couple months, we experienced all the cost of the steel delay.
A couple months behind.
Huh?
Couple months behind.
Yeah, we wanted to be in the building by the first of the year. So it's like 6 weeks. I guess I shouldn't complain. Yeah, our builder goes, the U of A building's like 6 months behind. And I'm like, I don't care. This is this building, right? Yeah. So we'll send you an open house. You'll have to come see it. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, very nice for the patients.
It's over on Cherryville, you said?
Cherryville, right by the post office.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't miss it. It's us and Nico's Tacos.
Yes, I know exactly where you're talking about. Great. Go to Taco and then go to El Rio.
We're good. Yeah, we're afraid we're gonna have our behavioral health patients in there, and then they're gonna go to the bottle shop.
Yeah.
When they leave to ours.
There's a liquor store right there
There's
too.
a liquor store. Yes, I have a big donor next week coming for a visit. She says, and then we can go to lunch, and I'm like, where are we gonna go for lunch? Nico's.
That's funny.
Yeah. What else is new? Lori, you do such a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Don't you think she does a really good job?
It's been a learning experience.
Very
that's for
impressed
sure,
with your
Nancy.
knowledge.
Well, thank you. It's been, I wouldn't have been able to do it without these.
Well, yeah, you have
people
good
over here
advisors.
instructing me day to day. But it's been a very interesting learning experience. I've spent a lot of time in benefits in the past, but all fully insured.
Right.
And so this whole self-insured business is very new. And the pharmacy is extremely new to me. So it's interesting though.
Yeah.
When we met with the payer matrix, that was a very interesting process to see, how business is conducted in the pharmaceutical side. So, but
Well, and I think on a national basis, it's fascinating to watch what's going on in the pharmacy industry.
yeah, and healthcare in general, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's been fun. It's been a
Interesting.
very
Yeah, it is
very
gonna be
interesting process.
Yeah. I'm still trying to directly contract with employers. I have people looking at data. I cut out the middleman, the evil empire of the PBMs or the,
Yeah.
And I just, we had those rebates they keep. Many states have gone after the rebates to recover them.
There's actually federal legislation.
California, is it right now? Have you started that?
Yep, there's
Yeah.
federal legislation to the lowest net cost to the member at the end, as the end user.
Yeah.
And to carve out all the rebates from the PBMs and the plans completely.
Yep.
PBMs also, in certain states, they've gone after the fact that PBMs can't compute a percentage of their rebates that they're charging to employees.
You know, I'm just really looking at state Medicaid, because they're keeping our rebates.
Yep. So
And
it's-
then, so they keep all the rebates, like on the high ticket items, HIV/AIDS, you know, that's all at the state. And then they call us up and they go, can you ask for some money, some more money for your clinics, because we have all this money up here. Well, yes, that would be our rebate money that you had to take, and now you're trying to give us more money back through the runaway grant program. So it's just, you know, it's so goofy.
Yeah, it sounds strange.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know, we've been watching, if you watch the price of Lantus insulin, for a while, it was like $80, now it's 10 cents.
That'll go away, don't worry.
Right?
They'll wise up.
Yeah, you know, we have, you know, so our, you know,
Went down to
I
10
think,
cents.
yeah, Santa Fe, you know, Santa Fe, yeah, we probably have $1 million over time around that Lantus insulin.
So you're mentioning the Mexico panel, right? So, and there are some horror stories if you go down the generic route or if you go into the non-credentialed provider route, those types of things. We've got a few clients that are utilizing it right now, and they're using the new network that's been built. So before, decade ago or whatever, it started with any provider that was down there, they would just bill for services and you get a discount off of those services, right? So there's actually a new one that is credentialing providers, and they're only using the main distributor of brand medications in Mexico. They're using no generic medications. And they're using the same Lantus,
Yeah.
or the same EpiPen, or the same, and it's 30 cents on the dollar,
Yeah.
south of the border. And you can walk across, you can use your HSA dollars to pay for it now,
Yeah.
so.
Well, we've got 340B, I think we're still a low cost leader with the 340B.
Thank God for that.
You know that, right?
Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's criminal.
yeah.
Going across the border, this is absurd.
So where'd you go, Nogales?
They can go to the Dallas and have it filled by pharmacy
Yeah.
Guadalajara, or any
Yeah.
of those, and they have the same, it's the same manufacturers as it is in the States. It's just they sell it in Mexico for a third of the price.
So Herman, why wouldn't you go? You said that you would never go down.
No. Too many friends.
Oh.
Been there and didn't like it, especially the dental part. They would never
Oh,
go back.
really?
Pharmacy.
We see good at
Six
that.
months, right.
We see good at that, right?
But I look at it this way. Why go to Mexico when you should get the same kind of treatment here? Should go there. You shouldn't have to pay the exorbitant prices that we do.
Well,
in the United
we've
States.
helped
It's absurd.
patients the patients who think it's going to be better here, cancer patients,
Mhm.
it's like, Hermosillo has an awesome
Oh, yeah.
cancer center. You are better off, you live in Hermosillo. Why are you coming up here, really?
Yeah, the SEMA Hospital has all of the
Yeah,
functionality
it's
that
a
Tucson
great
Medical Center
place.
has.
I know. And we coordinate care between the
Mhm.
patients, but the patient perception is such.
Sure it is.
You know, like the initiative here about medical tourism,
Mhm.
you know, that was just so funny to me, right? They were going, well, do you want to, they're trying to raise money for medical tourism. And I said, well, how is that helping? And do we really want people in Mexico to think that they don't have good health care? And I mean, they have pockets of great health care. So, I don't know.
So a good friend of mine, he owns a company, he put in this Mexican panel for his employees to go access if they'd like. He went to Costa Rica on a trip, and unfortunately had a medical event happen in Costa Rica. Said it's the best care he's ever received. I mean, he had 3 stents put in, and
Oh, wow. That's serious.
Dr. he called me
Yeah.
and said, would you call this hospital in Costa Rica? I said, I speak Spanish, so sure, I'll call them. And we negotiated the final bill and everything like that. And it was about 25 cents on the dollar that he would have paid for the same services here. To your point, he said the care was great, and he would have had to pay 4 times, 5 times that amount a
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
He would have rather stayed in Costa Rica another week and got his follow-up care there.
yeah.
It's
So,
just like the cancer.
cancer
Cancer
treatment's
treatment.
another
Right.
Same guy scenario.
And-
However, my friend had to have her appendix out in Russia. That was not good. She
Oh.
was on a trip and ended up in Odessa having her appendix out. She was in a
No,
big ward with tons of beds. This was only like 6 years ago. She
Yeah,
was
right.
terrified she was going to die.
one of my wife's best friends had a miscarriage in Asia
Oh.
while I was over there traveling.
Yeah.
And my wife was pregnant at the time, she came home right away.
Right away.
She came home right away,
Well,
was not
you
gonna
know,
have a baby in Asia.
When we were in Beijing, being I can't read Chinese,
So you see all this stuff, you can't tell what's going on. And all of a sudden you see a big building and it says in English letters, Second Hospital. So I kept telling my husband, where's the first hospital? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't want to go to the second hospital. That was the only thing in English. You know,
Can I have
the
the
second.
backup hospital, please?
The backup for Americans or what? I don't want to go there.
Oh my gosh.
We took pictures of it because it was like, you know, and we asked our guide about it. She goes, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
Oh.
So a friend of mine, he was having, he had disc surgery in his back, and he had had it twice here in the US, and both of them were unsuccessful. And so he found this place in Germany that he could go and had, they were saying, okay, you know, here's our results, test us out, whatever you want to do. So he paid $22,000, which over here it was $100,000 for each of the first two surgeries. $22,000. He was put up in a hotel for 30 days. He went over, he had the surgery. The plane tickets were included,
Oh, boy.
and he had a perfect outcome. He says he feels
Yeah.
18 again.
Yeah.
About medical tourism.
Medical
Yeah, there's
tourism.
the medical tourism. Well, and a lot of variables based on, I wonder if they select too. Like if
Maybe.
you take someone who doesn't have a lot of comorbidities, yes,
Sure.
come. But if I called up and I had all my meds and comorbidities, if they might advise me not to come to India or Costa Rica or wherever I want to go.
You know, those,
Yeah, I don't know.
the big fear around the ACA was that were those quote unquote death panels and the letters that everybody was getting. So there were some folks from Tucson that got one when the Hep C medications first came out.
Oh, yeah.
That the state was not going to cover their Hep C medications because the cost effectiveness of their treatment was not beneficial financially to the state,
Right.
was what it said in the letter.
Yeah.
And you had a bunch of folks that went to Costa Rica, or they went to the Philippines, or they went somewhere, and they were able to get those medications by just going there. Just going there. But here they couldn't get it.
Right. Well, and those letters had something like the state of your disease and your health is such that, you
It's
know.
not cost effective for the
Not
state
cost
to provide you this.
effective, right,
They were terrible numbers,
yeah,
terrible numbers.
yeah. The Medicaid CMO was on a panel with me last week, or maybe, yeah, it must have been last week. And she brought that topic up, and it was like light and fire all over. I mean, she ended up having to go, we pay for that medication.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did you work at El Rio?
Take my meds.
Oh, it's
That
when did you work at El Rio?
was from 2003, 2008. With Tony.
With Tony, yeah.
It was a lot
Did you
of
talk
fun.
to Tony?
I see him every day,
Oh.
my boss.
Oh, you are? I didn't know that.
We were able to get him in over and see my
Well,
meeting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I knew he was going there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good. I see him every day.
Yeah. That's good. I see his wife more regularly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, he's doing fine.
Good.
Loves it. Low key, takes it easy.
Low key, yeah, we're not.
Different
Opposite.
kind of environment there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But the opportunity that came to me, I just couldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't say no. Couldn't say no. No people, no doctors.
No people, no
No
doctors.
insurance, no phone.
Heck, that's no fun. Come on.
It sounds like a winning proposition right
Just hide in my hole.
there. Exactly.
Right.
That's right.
Great.
Had no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out great so far. But it was a lot of fun. I have to say, it was a lot of fun.
So, Mr.
Different.
Oh gosh, who was the gentleman? Mr. Robles.
And Rob Moore,
Yeah, Ramon, yeah.
wonderful gentleman.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we told him about him.
Yeah.
I just knew him for a very short period of time.
It's unfortunate he passed away in
Yeah.
cancer, but
Yeah.
he really is super good.
Yeah.
Who's your pharmacy manager at the Cherryville?
At Cherryville, let's see, the West Side Pharmacy went over there.
Oh.
So Monica, I think Monica should be over there. They just moved in there yesterday, or well, they moved in over the weekend, yeah. So we have OC, who's wonderful,
Oh, sure.
OC Wilson, you know.
Oh, yeah.
He's great.
Well, the director himself, is that Josh?
Josh, Dr. Carzoli?
You want to hear a funny about that one?
Oh, I'm sure.
I hired him to be my pharmacy tech when he first got in.
I'm gonna tell him that, I know
Oh,
you
yeah, he
now.
worked for me for a
Right.
number of years, tremendous dude.
Yeah,
You just knew that he was going to succeed at something.
well, he's hoping to
He's
succeed
phenomenal.
me.
He's phenomenal.
So
Got
I'd
the
say,
drive.
how old did, yeah, he does. I mean, Josh was an optometrist running an optical dispensary when I went to pharmacy school with a 4.0, and I mean,
you know.
Volunteer.
Yeah,
Great,
but
great
it's
work.
interesting because he's, let's see, Josh must be 42 this
Mhm.
year, right?
Yeah.
And so, all that energy, right? And sometimes it's good to go slow to go
Mhm.
fast, right? Sometimes it's good to stop, think, isn't it?
Listen. That's what
So I told him, nobody's gonna die, but slow this down. Because now he's got a department that's all in a ruckus and you just wanna go.
He's always been there.
Yeah, he
Day
has,
one.
he has, yeah.
Didn't have to tell him anything, it was
Hey,
tremendous.
you know what though? Go on YouTube and on El Rio YouTube, and we won a national video contest during National Health Center Week for Healthcare Heroes. Josh produced it all.
No kidding.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
OC is Iron Man in it. I
Mhm.
mean, you gotta watch it. It's awesome. It's really funny. It's really funny, but you know, Josh is.
His
the
drive is
energizer.
something.
His drive is.
Unbelievable.
And he was,
Work ethic.
both he and his wife are children of missionaries. And, you know, so a real commitment to serve as well
Yeah.
with that boundless energy that could be used for good or evil, so. I mean, he's using it for good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when do I tell him that? Because
I
he
know.
talks about, you know, coming to El Rio initially,
Oh, yeah.
volunteering
It was
as
a
well.
pharmacy. I used to tell him, I said, slow your roll. You're gonna
Yeah.
get there eventually.
Yeah,
But you just knew it. It's phenomenal to see people like that.
yeah. And he's got pictures of himself when he was in high school. He had that like mohawk hair thing
Mhm.
going on and played all these guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
He's from Yuma,
Yeah.
right? Yuma. Yeah.
Tell him I say hey.
I will. That is such a nice thing to
Tell him
know.
his first boss said hello.
I will. And then we'll see what he's done.
And I go, hey.
I'm glad you joined this group. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
We need your talent.
Bye, Mr. Verdugo.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming.
How did you call Mr. Verdugo? Well, when we needed another candidate, we're searching high and low, and finally our CFO recommended him to sit on the bond advisory committee for our bond that's all staff do.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay. So, yeah.
Well, when I was on the call last month, I heard him say, oh,
Yes.
oh, real hello.
You don't want to.
Hello.
Very happy to have him. Okay, definitely. Thanks for
Yeah. Hey, you know, I had an interesting experience. Have you seen the college club that is over at Wakefield? You know how they closed Wakefield? It's a TUSD. Lapham's College Club.
Well, yeah, she,
They have higher ground
That's a
in
long time
there,
ago,
which
so
is doing.
it's not like they have.
Behavioral health for kids after school. It's open to any school students. It's not far here. It's on like 9th and 36th.
Okay.
Nice, right, to get friendly.
And they've got therapy dogs coming in there on Thursdays, so the kids work with that. What else do they have going on there? They have a big greenhouse they built and do aquaponic gardening
Yeah,
and
they-
stuff with the kids. And it's open for community. And, yeah, I have her contact information. I don't know who to give it to. I thought it might
Monday,
be
someone
good
reached out to
because,
me, I've never
you know, and the kids are enrolled.
Next week.
And through this foundation, they have $50 for
They said
AIDS.
have access.
They can enroll in middle school, $50 for AIDS.
So not even very
For
small.
AIDS, I guess. Then they fully entrust kids ready to go to college or FEMA.
And if it doesn't happen, then there's something more.
That is wonderful.
You guys
I mean, it's
It kind of is
So,
like
that's
that.
the only
They're
thing.
earning money, and then they have a little theater troupe.
Yeah.
And the folks at Fox Theater let them use the theater, put on productions. I know. I came across this, I walked away going, this is really great. And then, it's at Wakefield was.
Okay.
Yeah, so we try to a lot of it. Yeah, I will. You should, you know, I was just impressed. They have somebody teaching robotics for
Right.
I would
kids.
Right.
They help them build a portfolio
I
and
do
kind of other stuff.
10,000.
They have a kid who got,
It's
this
insane.
is a sad story,
Yeah.
she got a full ride
Carrying
to
the weight.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let her go. She's
Good to see
working
you.
in
Did you have thanks for sending us?
Yeah, enjoy the time. Are you doing something fun? Or
And so what, he's with
Staycation.
one of the founders doctors or a guy who's fun.
The kids are off school, I'm like,
rodeo?
I just decided last week, oh my God, I'll take it off, I think.
So over time.
You leave tomorrow?
Where, and so then he made this place.
Oh my God.
You guys can see Jen is
You're
there.
there.
We're gonna take our.
But I was just super happy about it. She didn't.
Our other daughter's last name is a soccer tournament. So she's going
She's not gonna go for that whole weekend.
We're gonna get her.
They have the twos on there.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if we can make sure. Golf.
Because they use it as a metaphor for
We have
from harvesting and food and other things. And so they
Maybe we'll have a chance to win.
Culture us to stay here with us. Because it's, I didn't realize it was so ingrained. I knew it was a historical thing, but now I've been like, oh my, it's still real. It's still real.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll send, she's my Sunnyside person when I find
Oh,
her,
yeah.
I think they need to.
Yeah, totally, I love it, I love it,
Yeah.
thanks Nancy.
How's your wife doing? How's medical school? Or she's here?
She's in her PhD right now.
Oh, she's doing her PhD?
Bye guys.
Oh,
See y'all later.